Hey, what up everybody? Cody coming at you with another deck profile. Figured I'd do a quick break from the pack openings, and we'll do our case finish, which is the last 4 boxes, and a recap will be our next video uploaded. And then after that we have our giveaway for Battle of Omni, so don't miss those out. Real quick, as you see in the title, this is a security control deck profile, so real quick, let's go with the eggs. We play 4 Gigimon. The only reason we play 4 is because we don't want our opponent to know we're playing security control, so if we only played 1 egg, they would know we're playing security control. So we play 4, just a little mind game. Moving right into the rookies, we play 2 Lucemon and 2 Renamon. Lucemon is a super good card. It's a level 3, but it can't Digivolve, and it can't be Digivolved into, unless the Digimon has Lucemon, and there's no other targets for that currently. But on play, recover 1 and 10,000 DP for a level 3 is super good. So, good contender. The next rookie is Renamon. 4 to play, 3,000 DP, and then on play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets security attack -1 until the end of your opponent's next turn. So, in certain matchups, if they have one guy that just keeps freestanding, blue appears on. You just hard play the Renamon, and now that one Digimon, instead of doing 3 damage, does no damage. So it was a spicy tech. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it on the day. Next up is our level 4s. We only play 4 level 4s, and they're all Shademon. Shademon is a blocker, cost 6, 2 to Digivolve, but you can't Digivolve into him, 5,000 DP. And he's a security Digimon, so when he's checked in security, he plays himself. And then you can block with him immediately. So just having a free blocker is pretty cool. Moving on to the level 5s, we play 4, and they're all MagnaAngemon. Oh, real quick, my bad. I'm going to have a deck list in the description below, but just in case you don't know the cards, this is Shademon. So this is MagnaAngemon. 7 to play, 6,000 DP, 3 to Digivolve, but you can't Digivolve into him. On play, recover 1, so you take the top card of your deck and put it on the top of your security stack. He does have an inheritable that does come up in occasions. This Digimon that Digivolves from him, as ESS, gains 1,000 DP for every 3 security you have. So if you have 6, maybe 9, the Digimon gets 3,000 DP. Pretty good. Our Megas, we play 6, 4 of which are going to be Magnadramon. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what this card does, but for the players that don't, it's 11 to hard play, 3 to Digivolve, and it has 10,000 DP. On play, you recover 2 if your security is 3 or less. Recovery is the name of the game in this game, or in this deck, so you just keep recovering and keep stacking your security with good removal, spot removal cards, like you'll see here in a minute, or high DP Digimon, or Digimon that come out of the security. So super good card. The next Mega we play is a 2 of, and again it helps in specific matchups, and that is Sakuyamon, I apologize. So 12 to play, 3 to Digivolve, which both of these Digimon come off MagnaAngemon. Ideally you probably just want to go into Sakuyamon. Super strong card. During your opponent's turn, Digimon that come out of your opponent's raising area get security attack -3. So if they're playing the wait and see game and they're keeping a card safe in the raising area, the breeding area, when it does come out, if Sakuyamon's on the field, Sakuyamon's keeping you safe from that, which is really clean. And then your turn, all of your opponent's security Digimon get -3,000 DP. So if you have Magnadramon and it swings at security and it hits, say, 12,000 or 13,000, well, not 13,000, but say you have a Magnadramon underneath it and you swing, and now she's 11, and you hit 13,000 like a Nidhoggmon, she actually lives because the Nidhoggmon's DP in the check goes from 13 down to 10. So her herself can swing over a Nidhoggmon, which is pretty relevant in a lot of settings. But that's it for the Megas. Also fan favorite. I'm a big Renamon fan, so I gotta play the Renamon Sakuyamon. Level 7s that we are playing in the deck are 4 of, and only this one, Omnimon's Word Defeat. This card is broken, and one of the reasons that a deck like this can exist. So I'll just get into it. 15 to hard play, which you do, and that's okay. When digivolving, you can delete a tamer. So you can't digivolve into this Digimon in this deck. However, I am considering either playing a Machinedramon or a Black War Greymon, so you can digivolve into him, because him being stuck in your hand and having to hard play for 15 does suck. So moving forward, I would definitely recommend either a hard play purple or a hard play black Digimon that is a level 6. Just so you can utilize the on-digital evolution effect and easier ways to get him into play. He is also a security Digimon, so when he's checked in security, the battle doesn't happen, so the 13 doesn't really matter, but you get to play him, which is super good. And then when deleted, you just get to delete one of your opponent's guys. So it's spot removal on legs that comes out for free, and he's huge. In the mirror match, this card can also be aggressive. Due to one of our tamers, he can swing for extra security checks, and that can be relevant. Moving on to our options, we have the best option for spot removal in the game, and that is going to be 4 Gaia Force. Simple card, 8 to play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon, and its security effect trigger this card's main effect. So the main reason we play Gigimon is so we can utilize all of our red option cards, like Gaia Force. It just says get rid of one of your opponent's guys. Super good. Following Gaia Force up, we have 4 copies of Transcendent Sword. It deletes an opponent's Digimon for 7 with a DP of 11,000 or more. However, if you have an Omnimon or a Greymon, we do have Omnimons in play sometimes, you can delete something that has up to 15,000 or less DP, which is super good. And then the security effect is activate this card. I did, however, find in the games that I played that I did see it a little bit more than I wanted to, surprisingly. And also the 11,000 DP threshold is able to be played around by your opponent, and even if they don't play around it, 11,000 just isn't as big of a number as it used to be. So I would consider cutting this card down by 1 to just play the 3. But yeah, instant spot removal. And then following that up is another 4 of. This is Holy Wave. It just costs 6, and it says recover +1, so you put the top card of your deck on top of your security stack, and its security effect activate this card. So if it's checked in security, this goes to the bin, and a card comes in to replace it immediately. So it's like they did nothing. It's pretty good. Next up, we have Trident Revolver as a 3 of. I would like to mention this card, Holy Wave, and Trident Revolver, I would consider cutting one of each again, just because I did feel like I've seen them a little bit more than I wanted to. Trident Revolver is a great card though. 6 to play. Main, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 or less DP, and then you may play a tamer that has a play cost of 4 from your hand without paying its memory cost, and its security effect is activate this card's main effect. So we do play several tamers that cost 4, and getting them into play while spot removing maybe a blocker or a useful champion or rookie that you can foresee your opponent digivolving them to extend their board during the next turn is super good. But again, I feel like I did see it just a little bit too much. Our next card is Ultimate Flare. We opted to play 2 of them because we don't play an absurd amount of black cards, so I don't want to have them in my hand and not be able to play them, because this deck does not draw a lot. This deck, you play 1 card, and then it's your opponent's turn. And then you draw for turn, and you play 1 card, maybe 2 on occasion, and then it's your opponent's turn. So having dead cards in hand is rough. But this card is definitely worth talking about. Real quick, get you a better image of the card. Yep, Ultimate Flare, super strong. For 8 costs, main, de-digivolve 3, one of your opponent's Digimon, trashing the top 3 Digivolution I can't talk today. Trashing up to 3 cards from the top of one of your opponent's Digimon. If it has no Digivolution cards or becomes a level 3 Digimon, you cannot trash any more cards. Then, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 3 or less. So mid-game, if you're controlling their board well enough and they try to go wide, this is a perfect answer. Or if they did go tall and you want to just have a little bit of spot removal and save your Gaia Force, or the Transcendent Sword isn't going to get you there, this card is amazing. Numerous times I got rid of 2, maybe even 3 bodies with just this 1 card, And again, its security effect is activate this card's main effect. So you can essentially play a tamer for free during your opponent's turn. Following that up, we played 2 Tactical Retreats. Its security effect is very similar to Holy Wave. You just recover 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your security stack. So if they attack into it, it replaces itself. And its main effect for 1 memory, which is really energy efficient and nice to combo off with like things like a tapped Omnimon Zwart, or even a Shademon. If you think that they're going to try to spot remove it, you can protect it by putting it into your security, and then they're going to be forced to deal with it again regardless. And then it slows them down by having to take that extra security step again. So you place one of your Digimon in play, face down on the top of your security stack. They do know what it is, so they can play around it, but it is still an extra form of recovery. And last but not least, for our options, we play 1 Plasma Stake. It's another red one, and it says for 4 memory, you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13,000 or more DP. Because this format is so tall and Lord Nightmon is everywhere, Omnimons are everywhere, just being able to, for 4 memory, get rid of their whole stack is super clean. I know the one Omnimon does say that this won't work, but if you force them to get rid of that source, then it only costs you 4 memory. You might have a way to get rid of it again, like if you had an Omnimon on play, or if you have both your optimal tamer lineups and you start with 5, you can play this, it'll go to 1, so be your turn, and then you can Gaia Force the Omnimon. So I think it's worth at least a 1-of. Another card that I played at 4 is my first tamer. This is Izzy Izumi, the black one. It says on play, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. If they're all black, which never happens, you gain a memory, so it potentially only costs you 3, but again, it doesn't happen. The purpose of this card is to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back in the order you want, controlling which cards go into your recovery stack. This is public knowledge of what cards are revealed. It doesn't necessarily become public knowledge of what order they go back into your deck, but your opponent is probably going to be able to assume which order they went back in your deck. So they can play around it to a certain extent if they have the potential, but if it's something like a Gaia Force or a Zwart, unless they're burning or milling your security, they're going to have to face it, which is good. He's also your memory corrector to force you to start your turn at 3 memory every time. Super, super important. And it's your black on-play card to trigger out your ultimate flares if you don't happen to have your Shademons in play, which you don't all the time, but I mean, I've ultimate flareable just having Shademon. I've ultimate flareable just having Izzy. Both good cards. Our next tamer is Tai, Kamiya, and Matt Ishida, white for the 4-drop. So it says if the start of your turn your opponent has a level 6 Digimon or higher, you gain 2 memory. So you will start your turn with 3, and then Matt and Tai will put you to 5, allowing you to hard drop the Omnimon Zwart for 15, or minimize the resources that you give to your opponent during their turn if you have to hard drop something like a MagnaDramon or MagnaAngemon, or even a Lucemon. Like if you have 5 and you have more than 10 in trash, you can just hard play a Lucemon and get that recovery +1 plus a body, and then some form of removal or additional recovery. Very, very strong. Izzy, I would consider cutting for another Matt and Tai. I'm not really sure if that's the way I want to go or not. The secondary part of Tai and Matt is your Omnimons gain security attack +1. So in rare instances, if you have a Matt or a Tai and Matt, sorry, and you hard play an Omnimon Zwart, and let's say they trigger another one in security the following turn, you have 2 bodies that have security attack +1. That's 4 security with 13,000 DP, and an on delete effect that just has spot removal. It can get scary real quick. And our final card for the deck is 2 of the yellow TK Takaishi. This is a 2-drop that says all of your security Digimon gain 2,000 DP during your opponent's turn. So it turns Magnadramons into 12,000s, possibly 14,000s. It turns Sakuyamons into 13s, possibly 15,000s. It turns Shademons into 7, 9,000s. Lucemons become 12, 14. Renamons become 5 and 7. It's good. It's a good card. I don't know if this is how I want to continue to play the deck going forward, but this was my first draft of Security Control in the BT5 meta stateside here in the USA. So I really appreciate you guys for watching. If you want, leave a like, and let me know what you would change in the future or moving forward, or you know, if you're a content creator or you got your list on Facebook, don't be afraid to tag us in it. I want to see as much Security Control coverage as I can. So again, thanks guys for watching. Stay healthy, and check back for our giveaway for Battle of Omni and our case recap. Laters.